Hi friends, it's been so long since I've recorded and I'm so excited to be back. If you've ever felt unsure about how to support families with breastfeeding, this video is for you because today I'm going to be sharing 5 simple ways to boost your confidence as a birth worker. So whether you're a doula, a lactation counselor, or somewhere in between, these tips are going to help you feel more prepared and empowered when you're guiding families on their feeding journey. So helping families breastfeed is actually one of the most impactful services that you can provide, and it can also feel really overwhelming. I get it, because when I was starting out as a new doula, I used to feel really unprepared and worried, and I just was worried that I wasn't offering the right feeding advice. And over time, after deciding to become an IBCLC and going through that long process, I found tools and strategies that really allow me to help show up for families fully, and I really want to share some of those strategies that I've learned with you. So first, let's talk about some of the challenges that birth workers tend to face when it comes to offering breastfeeding support. The first, I would say, is imposter syndrome, or just feeling like you need more training before you're qualified to help. And another one is just like the wealth of information that's out there and trying to sort through it all. It can be really hard to know what's the most important thing to focus on when you're starting to learn. You might worry about making mistakes, about giving the wrong advice, and sometimes you might just feel like your basic knowledge from your basic lactation training just isn't enough when a feeding situation starts to get a little complicated. So if this sounds familiar to you, you're not alone, and today we're going to tackle these things together. So the first thing we're going to talk about is just knowing the basics of breastfeeding physiology. The first way to feel more confident is just to deepen your understanding of breastfeeding, and that's going to include knowing things about milk production, how it works, the stages of lactation, and what a baby's feeding cues looks like. For example, if you're working with a family who starts to worry about milk supply and whether or not their baby's getting enough to eat, being able to explain to them how supply and demand works can really reassure them. But here's the key: you really have to address these concerns early. As much as possible, being able to prep them prenatally with this information is key, because really the first time to be hearing this information about like supply and demand, and when baby latches, they're requesting milk from your body and you got to trust the process. The first time they should be hearing that is not when they have a crying newborn in their arms and they're sleep deprived from 30 plus hours of labor. That's really stressful and not the ideal time to learn. So the second thing we're going to talk about is building trust through empathy and active listening. When a parent shares their concerns, really taking the time to listen without jumping into solutions. Like if someone says something along the lines of, "I think my baby isn't getting enough milk," start by validating their feelings. Trying something like, "That's a really common worry, and I'm here to help figure this out with you." Families want to feel heard first. So if you skip this step, they might actually start to feel dismissed or even reluctant to ask for your help again. The third thing is to focus on practical tools and techniques. The practical tools are going to be your best friend. So teach them simple things like how to position their baby for a better latch, how to use breast compressions, how to relieve engorgement. For example, if a parent mentions to you that they have nipple pain, you might be able to demonstrate how to adjust their positioning to reduce friction on the same area that's giving them discomfort. So don't underestimate the power of showing them rather than just telling them. Things like saying, "Just keep on trying," or "You just need to get a deeper latch," can actually leave families feeling more confused and more frustrated. Don't be afraid to say that you don't know. So this is the fourth one. There's a big one here, okay? You don't have to know all the answers. If you're unsure about something, say so. For example, you might tell a parent, "That's a great question, and I want to make sure I get the best information. Let me check with a lactation consultant and follow up with you." Trying to fake your way through an answer can make it look like you're not quite the most credible source, and it can also cause potential harm. Being honest builds trust and shows families that you're really invested in their success. The fifth thing that we're going to talk about is utilizing community and resources for ongoing support for them. So You don't have to feel like you need to do it all on your own. Guide families towards additional resources like local lactation consultants, online support groups, community organizations. You could say something like, you're doing really great so far, and I know a lactation consultant who can help you dive deeper into this. That way you can remind them that they're not alone and that they have a strong support network. All right, so to tie it all together, here are the 5 things that you can start doing today. 1 is to know the basics, brush up on how breastfeeding works and on common lactation challenges. Number 2 is to listen first, practice empathy and active listening before jumping into solutions and quick fixes. Number 3 is to demonstrate techniques, focus on practical, hands-on support that can really help parents apply what you're teaching them immediately. Number 4 is to embrace the I don't know. Be honest. You need to look for more answers. It helps them build trust. And number 5 is to leverage your resources. So share community tools and experts with the family so that they have access to ongoing support. By focusing on these strategies, you're going to start to feel more confident in supporting the families that you're working with, and they're going to notice the difference in your care and your confidence, and they're going to trust you even more. So remember that your role in lactation is incredibly valuable. You've got this. And if you found this video helpful, I'd love it if you click the like button, subscribe down below, share with other birth professionals who could use a little boost in their breastfeeding support skills. And also be sure to check out the link below to grab my free guide on answers to the top 10 feeding questions your client will ask. I'll see you all soon. Thank you for being here. Bye.